going on today. And I figured, you know what? We've been having some pretty interesting discussions about Bitcoin. And while I work on my other content, why not throw the camera up and take 10 or 15 minutes here and just explain to you some of the interesting factors, risks, concerns, and just everything really that I think about Bitcoin right now. And I'm not going to discuss too much about whether I'm investing in it just yet, because that seems to be the pinnacle moment here for most people that are jamming it down everyone's throats. But it doesn't matter what retailer I'm using. There are a lot of them are shifting down into Bitcoin. I mean, I'm most of you know I used to be a full-time magician. Magic retailers right now are accepting Bitcoin. Tesla is accepting Bitcoin. It is becoming broadly more and more accepted. PayPal now allows you to accept Bitcoin, guys. Um, well, US anyways, but more particularly, I just want to talk about some of the interesting factors that people don't bring up too often that are actually kind of counterintuitive to what I would have thought Bitcoin would have been more used for. Because in the Western world, I don't think Bitcoin serves as much of a purpose than it does for a value proposition, a spec play. It drives hype. And don't get me wrong just yet. I do believe I am bullish on Bitcoin here, guys. I got a lot of bull reasons to think that Bitcoin's going to keep going up. But the reason for this currency that most people predicted the use of it for, even Kathy Wood, was like in foreign countries, places like Venezuela, where there's a lot of uncertainty. That is where you think crypto would play its most crucial part. But it's actually the exact opposite. They're finding in off hours and Asia hours that the volatility and just the managing of Bitcoin is greatly reduced than it is in the Western world. And in the Western world, here where a lot of us are buying up Bitcoin, it's really not me and you buying it right now. The fact of the matter is, it seems to be that institutional investors make up for the vast majority, from what I can tell, of Bitcoin holders. And you can even see this in the Bitcoin price, because this recent rally that the Bitcoin just experienced wasn't like, the one we saw, a couple years ago when we saw the big run up and then a crash. I think that was more associated to retail investors. But this, however, I think is becoming a more institutional base. I mean, like I said, guys, you got Visa getting on board here, and it's just becoming a little bit more of a fascinating story. But at the same time, it's just this really slewed mess right now, in my opinion, of trying to figure out where Bitcoin is actually going to be in the future, because I by no means believe that it is going to become like a replacement currency. I cannot see it replacing the reserve US dollar, not like people are predicting it's going to. I can't see that happening anytime in the near term, but that does not mean it doesn't serve a valuation prospect, on multitudes of reasons, actually, because when you're talking about Bitcoin, from an asset value and underlying fundamental value, there's really nothing there but blockchain. So I mean, if Bitcoin is just a bunch of ones and zeros backed by the blockchain, right? That means that the blockchain is where the real value is at. But there's a ton of different blockchains. It's not like a proprietary technology. But the fact is Bitcoin won this game. Okay, Bitcoin has captured the attention of the entire world. So the fact of the matter is branding power, and the fact that it's where it is now, that's the solidifying factor. And when you look at people looking for other alternative investments, compared to something like, say, like gold, it's just the setup for it is brilliant. I mean, realistically, it's completely disconnected. It's run by individuals. Blockchain is run by people like you and me, and it's nothing related to governments or gold or highly manipulative things. And the fact is Bitcoin's been traded over $1 trillion in value, and over all of those transactions, there hasn't been one case of fraud. There's like it's incredible how useful the technology is for certain purposes in those aspects. So I could see the store value, if you wanted to use it as some kind of like similar to gold, right? Like you're just trying to use it as, I almost look at it as something like art, if I'm being honest. Like it just has those same kind of like gold fundamental base to the actual asset of it. But more particularly too, right? Like we're getting to the end now where Bitcoin is running out of its mining capabilities. Because there's 18 million Bitcoin that currently exist, and there's only going to be something like 20 million, I can't remember the exact number, that are going to come in to fruition after everything's been mined out. I'm not by any means a brilliant person on this conversation of topic. I'm just finding it very, very interesting at the current pinnacle state that it is sitting at, because it is starting to transition into the mainstream reality of things. And I'm waiting for the day Amazon finally opens their door and says, hey guys, we now accept Bitcoin, because it is honestly jaw-dropping to me how many people are accepting it, but how little retail investors are actually buying into Bitcoin. I mean, you hear about it a lot of YouTubers buying into it, but they literally make up for such a minuscule percentage right now of the global Bitcoin percentages that are out there. So it's hard not to be bullish on the trend that's happening, and you can see the stability in the stock price. I mean, there are some decent stability going on right now in the uptrend that it is experiencing. And I have a lot of concerns too, and a lot of people are talking about things like BlockFi right now, because BlockFi is like one of the places where you can buy Bitcoin and actually make a dividend almost, where they kind of mortgage your Bitcoins out in a bunch of different ways. Some of them are short-term mortgages, loans, et cetera, and they're paying out like 6%. But it's really easy to put your money in something when Bitcoin's only going up in value, and that's like my fear with BlockFi. BlockFi hasn't really experienced like a major downturn, I believe, in the history since their loans have really taken off. So it'd be neat to see, because they have like a 0% default rate, which sounds absurd, but again, it's impossible to lose money when the asset that you're loaning only goes up in value. So I mean, I'm a little bit more hesitant on BlockFi, and because I've been approached on so many levels from BlockFi, from other cryptos, Coinbase, to do affiliate networking with them. I've talked with their affiliate team. I declined. I thoroughly declined to be an affiliate with Coinbase. As much as I know every YouTuber, Andre Jake, I can name like 5 YouTubers that are BlockFi affiliates right now, and I can't bring myself to do it for the raw reason that like you. Let me tell you the BlockFi affiliate setup. There's no payments up front. They expect you to basically, if you can get somebody to deposit $10,000 in Bitcoin in BlockFi, you end up making like 0.5% commission. So like 500, is it 500? It's not even, it's really minuscule in value for how much somebody has to invest. And I feel like most of the people that watch my content are retail investors. They're smaller guys, and I don't want to have to convince you to go to put $10,000 of this really volatile, kind of unproven asset that's just peeking its nose around the corner, and put it into a company that isn't backed by any real bank or Federal Reserve or anything. So if it goes down, there's no insurance. Like it's so highly speculative that I can't do it. I can't convince a small retailer to take a huge portion of their capital, and it could work out. Like I said, I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but I'm not bullish enough to want to jam a product down your throat, in my opinion, that doesn't provide. It's not concrete enough for me, and it bothers me a lot when I watch a lot of these bigger YouTubers talk about cryptocurrency and how like they drool at the mouth. Like it's kind of like it's this this it's another problem that I have with Bitcoin, as well as this fanaticism that people have, where like it's just, if you're in it, like you're so in it, it's not even funny. And I try not to get that attached to my investments. I mean, it's like when I sold MindMed or some of it, people like, even when I sold Tesla, like you get the fanatics that come out and lose their minds, like you're the biggest loser in the world for selling out. But meanwhile, I'm paper hands, folks. I'm 100% believer in paper hands. I believe everyone should take profits on stocks or investments that run up hundreds, if not thousands of percent. I think you're stupid not to. I know people sitting in positions right now up massively, and I just think it's dumb. Again, I'm not saying you have to sell the whole position, but you just don't know what the future holds. You don't know if the government ever steps in and says, "Hey guys, we're gonna regulate this in a different way." And when I look at it from Tesla's position, it was the most brilliant investment they could have made. But I'm not saying it's the most brilliant investment they could have made, because it's just a great thing that's just going to keep going up. When you look at Tesla from a valuation standpoint, it's fucking absurd. It's fucking absurd, guys. And Elon knows this. Anybody that invests with 2 cents of intelligence in their brain know Tesla is absurdly overvalued, with their entire future hinging on self-driving. And if that does not come into fruition, and I know some of the biggest Tesla investors that have millions of dollars in it, and they core focus everything they do now around Tesla on self-driving. And they agree. They said, look, if self-driving doesn't actually come into something in reality, like we're screwed, because that's where their entire future is. So when you're looking at a company that is so highly speculative and based on things that don't actually exist, and they have to provide that shareholder value of that exponential growth rate, how do you do it? It's really, really hard. So when I'm looking at it from like Elon Musk's perspective, it's like, how do we provide that exponential value to our shareholders? What is the only investment that we can make? And holy crap, here comes Bitcoin. Here is a currency, kind of currency, an asset class that not only I can talk about as Elon Musk, that I can pump to the friggin' moon. The SEC can't say anything. So when you have $1 billion, and the second you put it into Bitcoin and you mention it, the price is going to skyrocket. Like from his perspective, it's brilliant. Like it's honestly the look at Dogecoin. It wouldn't surprise me if he had money in Dogecoin just to pump it. It's honestly like the craziest from a legality perspective. Elon needs to be he needs to own the entire Guinness World Book of Records for everything that he's doing right now for shareholders. I mean, it's almost awe-inspiring. And Bitcoin just made sense. But for the average retail investor that doesn't have billions of dollars, that can't manipulate the prices of assets, it might not be the best investment to load everything you own into it, right? Like, I mean, like I said, I kind of have this mixed feeling about it. I'm leaning more toward the long term bull perspective because it's just we're in that stage, guys. Bitcoin's proven itself. You know, it is like playing cards to me. It has no real value. Bitcoin, in and of itself, has no value except for what somebody else is willing to pay for it. That's a fact of reality, but it is the primary dominance of the example of blockchain. And it has won that game, guys. And I had this argument with Apple and stuff the other day because people were like, well, Apple, you know, me and my business partner Matt argue about this. Not really argue, but I think it's an intelligent conversation to have about, you know, how a lot of companies are like mostly brand based, right? Like Apple just makes a phone. There's nothing really proprietary when you have Samsung and all these other phone competitors. But why does Apple win? Because of branding, right? Like it's at the end of the day, there's major branding power, and especially when you got Elon Musk backing it, right? But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here for 10 quick minutes. If you guys have any questions or answers real quick, I'm gonna go start making some dividend videos because my favorite monthly paying dividend stock of all time posted earnings today with my mixed reaction to it is kind of interesting because it went down 5% on earnings. And I'm not too happy with some of their projects. But yeah, guys, I don't know how popular Bitcoin is going to be for my channel. Not sure how many of you guys are interested in it. I am doing some other stuff with it that I'll talk about more later on. I'm just not really here to pump it up. I like trying to give you guys kind of like a kind of a bull bear case behind it. I like arguing about stocks. I wish there was more people out there that were willing to argue about stocks, guys, because like I don't like when someone just keeps pushing you saying this is the greatest thing in the world. I like seeing the bad sides to it, especially when you talk about the mining of Bitcoin, which is getting really expensive. It costs like $8,000 right now to mine a single Bitcoin, I think, which only stays valuable for as long as that price keeps going up, which in this situation it works. SRAC, yeah, that's another one that I want to talk about. My momentous stock, my space industry. Oh, I don't know if I can announce this yet. I got invited. Ironically, I'm going to be on a panel talking about investing in the space industry and I don't know if I can leak it yet. I can't believe I got invited for this. It kind of blew my mind because I'm really nervous because I wasn't going to say no. There's no way in hell I was going to say no to that offering. But basically, I get to be part of a panel of people running these space companies along with investors and people that are actually like technical engineers in the space industry. And I don't know if they just watched a couple of my videos and they think I know a lot about space, but I'm so technically uninclined about like I can't explain to you how rocket technology works, guys. I'm like, so I'm trying to figure out if they just like if I could just get away with what I talk about in my videos on the space side of it and just like the investment side of it. But it's super interesting. I was like, wow, just to meet these people in the space industry, hell yeah. I'll sign up. I'll be announcing that soon, guys. My girlfriend told me not to jump the gun on it. I was so excited when they reached out to me because it's a really interesting and professional, like it's like a TED Talk thing for specific companies where or not specific companies, specific topics where they bring a bunch of interesting people in the field together. And I'm like, I sure as hell am not a space genius here. Sorry, guys, I'm going to bring up the comments and we'll do quick comments and questions and answers here before I bugger off. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm on my phone, so the stupid chat doesn't come up the same. Let me see the live chat here. Remember us when you're famous. Yeah, I don't feel that famous, guys. I don't think everyone's looking at my YouTube saying, hey, you hit 10,000 subs. And as much as I appreciate it, I just hope you guys enjoy the content. I just like making it. On questions, what do you say at the top of your every video? I can never figure it out. At the top of my video, let's jump into this. That's usually what I say. Let's jump right into this. I kind of got rid of those intros. Stocks are where it is at for me. Bottom of the dip, SRAC. SRAC, it just got to get through merger, man. We just got to get that space stuff through merger. Well, what a surprise. Bitcoin trades like a stock without earnings, without sales, without assets. And the only argument make it valuable is the maximum amount of shares, which is 19 million. Yeah, but don't mistake in that value, guys. I mean, I am a fundamental investor 100%. I mean, when I look at something like a Facebook, which is a screaming value, it trades at the same value as Pepsi for no fucking reason at all. Doesn't make any sense. If you want to get your mind blown, go look at the valuation and look at the revenues and everything behind Facebook, and then go look at the revenues and everything behind Pepsi. They trade right now for the same value. It'll blow your mind. One day, Facebook will just double in value for no reason. I swear to God, it is the cheapest S&P top 10 stock. And I don't understand why. It honestly melts my mind every time I look at it because, like, there's so much to be bullish on. They just started monetizing WhatsApp. But putting that aside, don't overlook Bitcoin for what it is, guys. I mean, go look at Pokemon cards, go look at gold, go look at art. These things do have value to them on their asset class. And I think there is good reason to be bullish on Bitcoin. But there is also good reason to be hesitant. Like I said, it's just a really interesting asset class because it's at this pivotal moment right now where I think about to break the barrier into the public market. It's really recognizable. I don't know if people are missing this. I mean, that is crazy. It's crazy that you're going to be able to buy anything you want with Bitcoin, and it's emerging quick. You can now buy a Tesla car. You can buy magic tricks from my magic dealers with Bitcoin. I mean, it's happening quick, guys. I'm actually kind of shocked, and this is why there's stability and upflow in the price. And if it becomes that widely adopted that it just sits in your wallet and I can buy and sell things with it and trade with it on a regular basis, you can't trade with gold. You cannot go on Amazon and buy shit with gold, guys. You can't do that with Pokemon cards. You can't you can't buy anything, but you're starting to be able to buy. And people are, I could walk into a convenience store and I say, hey, I got Bitcoin. Can I trade? I don't have cash, but could I trade this with you? I bet they are more likely to say yes than if you walked in with a brick of gold. I just, for some reason, Bitcoin seems to be more of the upcoming millennial phase of things. Like it's the younger generation and basically high growth investing and institutional investors that want to catch this trend, right? You got Visa on board for fuck's sakes. Like you can get Visa on board with a cryptocurrency, guys. Like you're talking some pretty serious stuff. Sorry, I'm swearing a lot today. I need to step back a little bit. It's been an exciting and thrilling day, guys. Tesla taking bit. Yeah, it's crazy, guys. Don't overlook what is happening with Bitcoin. It is very likely, and again, it is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. But if it becomes this globally accepted that I can actually trade it, I can put it in my PayPal and buy something on Amazon and get paid out from a client with Bitcoin. Like if it becomes that transactable, do not overlook what's happening right now. Um, because it's interesting. I'm telling you, it's way more interesting than it used to be. I also don't like the fact that Bitcoin is also a scamming thing. It's highly used. I mean, go look at the bottom comments in this YouTube video, and I guarantee you there's going to be a slam of scammers trying to get you to use Bitcoin for them just to rob you, right? Which is really frustrating because man, that's another reason that turns me off from Bitcoin because I'm really curious to how much of it is speculative, right? Because at the end of the day, guys, like when you look at the fact that it's not being used as the utility people think it would be used for, like in Venezuela and these other countries, and then you come over here where there seems to be a lot more speculation surrounding it, it's hard to tell how much of it is speculation based and how much of it is actual fundamental based, like institutional buyers, people that are trying to use it for trading and like asset purposes. It's a very hard mix because at the end of the day, if everyone decides to dump Bitcoin and start taking profits, I mean, it could burst. It could easily burst 30, 40, 50%. And that's what people I want to understand. I hate pumpers. I hate pumpers in Bitcoin because it's a volatile asset. And at any point in time, news could come out that could destroy it. It's still a reality that certainly exists. I'm more bullish than bearish, mind you, but I'm definitely going to. And same with mining, guys. What happens when we mine all the Bitcoin is it costs so much in energy to mine Bitcoin when they're charging a transaction now instead of charging you a creation of a Bitcoin when you mine it. Is that transaction value going to be worth? Is it going to be worth it for these people to keep mining it? Like, is the value of that work? Because again, when you mine Bitcoin, you get the exponential rate of return. You mine Bitcoin, you get one, and then it goes up in value. But when you can't mine it anymore, and you're getting paid out a percentage of the thing, right? I really wish Matt, I hope you're not joining just now. I feel bad. I just did like a whole bull case on Bitcoin and why there's a good chance I'm not talking about it yet, but I'm likely to buy it. I'm just trying to be realistic with people here, and I find it very fascinating because there's just a few fundamental things that I think that are just super interesting about it from a risk and a bullish perspective. But yeah, Kyle Coin, it'll probably be coming. Believe it or not, I signed up to Coinbase. I want to buy Coinbase on its IPO. I believe in it a lot. I'm going to do a Bitcoin transaction because I just want to see how it works. I already signed up to Coinbase. I actually got my line of, it's really dumb. They don't accept credit cards. I can understand why, 20% interest rate, but they accept my line of credit, but they won't accept my credit card. I've been messing around with Bitcoin, guys. I know I haven't been saying it, but for the last week, I've been messing around a lot. I'm fully signed up on Coinbase now. I've got a full account with BlockFi. I'm doing all kinds of weird stuff on the back end. I just don't want to talk about it. I don't want to pump it. I don't want to say anything about it. I just want to see how it functionally plays into reality. Can I buy stuff on Amazon? Is it as easy as they say it is to use Coinbase? Is Coinbase going to continue doing $30 to $50 billion a month in transaction value? I mean, these are the questions I have if I'm going to start investing in it. So I'm going to get my hands deep and dirty and then decide what aspect I want to invest. I might just invest in BlockFi because that way it doesn't matter what the price of Bitcoin is. I will always benefit off the transactions that are happening. Or I might do both. I might buy a little bit of Bitcoin, put some of it into BlockFi, keep some of it in just pure Bitcoin kind of cash, and then also own a little bit of BlockFi and have a little diversified, maybe 5 or 10,000 of these three assets in the crypto space. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm just fucking around. But interesting conversation, guys. I just wanted to pop on. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna go. Yeah, the Rio clan is back, baby. Rio clan has been on fire. Oh my god. I'm really happy with that one. I mean, I went balls to the wall on Rio Can. You guys might remember that. That one's working out well. I appreciate it, Matt. Matt's the legend. Don't subscribe to this channel. You guys want to go check out Matt Money. Matt Money's the champ. That guy's about to cross $1 million, and we gotta. I wish I could get on a plane and we could go down and celebrate because you gotta at least order pizza or something. Jesus, get yourself a cigar there, man. We gotta celebrate that. Forget my 10,000 subs. That's not worth celebrating. You crossing $1 million. We gotta do what financial education does and get you one of those little. Fuck. Even if you gotta order one yourself, we gotta make you like a little statue thing just for the shits and giggles of it, because oh my god, what a pivotal moment. Anyways, guys, go check out Matt Money and stay cool, stay awesome, and I'll catch you all literally probably in the afternoon. I'm gonna go make another video. Peace out, guys.